This is the Pulse. I told you a lot more discussions will be coming up here. In the studio with me is Xavier, who is a convener, pressure group for the Pressure Group United for National Interest. In the wake of the ban on human rights lawyer Xavier Sosu, the pressure group is asking the General Legal Counsel to lift the ban on this lawyer. Xavier, who is the convener, will tell me reasons why they're making this call. Good afternoon to you. Welcome on the Pulse.
Good afternoon, madam.
What exactly you want the ban lifted from the lawyer? But the legal counsel has given you explanations why that ban must be on. Why are you asking for more?
Okay, thank you very much. But first of all, I would like to send condolence message to the bereaved family of Major Mahama and also to Ghanaians in general. And to come back to the issue, yes, though the legal counsel has ruled and given him that ban, we see this ban as affront to justice. And then we see it as discrimination at the highest level. We see the ban as a violation of the rights of lawyer Sosu and violation of the 1992 Constitution. And we are asking the General Legal Counsel to reverse their decision.
Which part of the 1992 Constitution is the General Legal Counsel violating?
Yes, any issue that is not constitutional is a violation of the Constitution. One, why do I say so? When you look at the decision taken by the General Legal Counsel, you realize that number one, let's take the issue one by one, that of Francis Ajare. You will realize that the code on which the General Legal Counsel based to ban lawyer Sosu for 1 year for overcharging, we have researched and gone through that particular regulation, and we found nothing in the code as overestimation or overcharging with its prescribed sanctions. So on what basis did the legal counsel ban lawyer Sosu for 1 year?
If you listen to the General Legal Counsel, it says that the lawyer himself pleaded guilty to some of the issues raised, and on that basis he was giving the 3-year ban. And it looks like the General Legal Counsel is very certain on this decision. Don't you think this is too much to ask for?
This is not too much, and it's even little to ask for. When you talk about he pleading guilty, okay, and for that matter, the ban is in the right direction, I think it's not right. Because something that is not right, then it means that from the onset, whether lawyer Sosu has pleaded guilty or not guilty, is still not right. If you look at the complaint even filed by Mr. Francis Ajare, and on November 28, 2014, when you read, you would agree with me that the complainant stated nothing like he has been overcharged or he has been overestimated or there was an overestimation. When you read it carefully,
what exactly did he say?
What he said, in the impression I got from what he said, has to do with the fact that the money was delaying to be paid, and he felt that lawyer Sosu was the one responsible for the delayance of the payment.
But at the time of the ban, the money had already been paid.
But at the time of the ban, the money has already been paid. But one thing we must understand in this case is that if you are talking of overcharging, okay, there should be payment. As of the time that Francis Ajare filed the complaint at the General Legal Counsel, there was no payment.
So from Ajare
yes,
to
there was
lawyer
no payment
Sosu
from the government of Ghana to Ajare, or from Ajare to lawyer Sosu.
But
this is the case.
If you listen to Mr. Ajare, he said at the time the ban came, he had received the money from the Ministry of
Yes,
Finance.
what I'm saying is that, you know, the issue started far back in 2014.
Okay.
The payment was made in 2015. And I'm saying that when you look at the complaint filed, the complaint was filed on November 28, 2014. And if a complaint has been filed, quote unquote, overcharging, has there been any payment? You have not paid for the services that the lawyer provided to you. So how come the lawyer overcharged you?
But
that is
he
question
talked about
one.
some contract he signed based
good.
on he paying 25% to lawyer Sosu.
Contract he signed. I'm very, look, if you sign a contract, it means that he understood the content of the contract before he signed. He wouldn't, Francis Ajare wouldn't tell me right now that he doesn't know the content and he doesn't understand the implications of every single content. I'm not a lawyer, but in fact, the contract is just one single page, which stated clearly in simple language what it means in that particular disease. So if you yourself, you've agreed, do you get it, to pay 25% of a service, and at the end of the day, the payment from Ministry of Finance was done to you, and no one even held gun on you to go and pay to lawyer Sosu, and you willingly went ahead to pay to lawyer Sosu, when even lawyer Sosu has written, with the letters that he had written to the General Legal Counsel, that if the payment of this money is becoming an issue, let it stay. You, Francis Ajari, went ahead willingly, paid the money to lawyer Sosu's account, when you also know that the issue you sent to General Legal Counsel was pending. And if in your mind it was overcharging, if someone overcharged you.
But
yes.
a school of thought will say Francis Sosu himself was a lawyer, and
Yes.
at that point when he was playing those tricks, he could have read between the lines. But the General Legal Counsel is dealing more with
Yes.
the code of conduct for
Yes.
the legal profession, and it says that you must charge 10%. And so don't you think your frustration should rather go to Francis Ajari and probably think of an appeal rather than asking the General Legal Counsel to lift the ban?
To us, there's no point in descending on Francis Ajari. He wasn't the one who actually banned lawyer Sosu. It's the General Legal Counsel who should have known better. And in this case, there was a contractual agreement. Let me make the case clear here. Before lawyer Sosu was charged, payment was done. The complaint was filed in 2014, but there was no charge. Lawyer Sosu responded of all those their procedures. Payment was done before lawyer Sosu was charged. Was General Legal Counsel waiting for lawyer Sosu or for that payment should be done before they can base on to charge lawyer Sosu for overcharging?
Well, that's their internal procedures. You and I cannot tell.
Internal procedure, are you trying to tell me that, okay, if that is internal procedure, let us wait? Why was lawyer Sosu not charged from the onset? If General Legal Counsel knew very well that this Francis Ajari guy had a case, why did they not charge lawyer Sosu when the complaint had gone?
Don't forget that in litigation or legal matters, they need to have some investigations before they can come to a conclusion. And you know how long litigation takes. And so I don't think that you can blame the legal counsel for saying that they are charging him in 2015. Probably the investigations didn't tally in 2014 then.
Which investigations? And what are the facts? They should lay the facts right. Let's see the ruling.
I think it's
Let's
clear.
see the ruling. Let's see the basis on which he was actually.
Have you requested for the ruling?
Yeah,
I'm sure if you request, you will get.
We are making
so
every
you can
effort
read it.
to request for the ruling. And look at the ruling, even the proceedings. Let's look at what goes on. What are the evidences they tender in? Do you get it? To prove the case that, okay, lawyer Sosu overcharged. And is the General Legal Counsel saying that anytime you have an agreement with someone, the agreement is not bound? by the parties?
Well, I'm sure he can take another course, maybe the law of contracts, to get this resolved. But when it comes to code of conduct for the profession, I think that the legal counsel has gone through the right procedure. And don't you think that the lawyer himself admitting that he was guilty ends the matter?
No, it doesn't end the matter. It doesn't end the matter at all. Why did I say it doesn't end the matter? What we are saying is that even the complaint that was filed, Francis Ajari never complained of overcharging or his counsel overcharging him or overestimation. You can have, I'll give you a copy of the complaint he filed. So if the person that sent the complaint never complained of overcharging or overestimation, then how come was he charged? Now, was he found guilty of overcharging? Now, when the payment was done in 2015 to Francis Ajari, has he gone back to General Legal Counsel, filed another complaint of overcharging, of the lawyer overcharging him or taking more than he could have taken? Has that thing been done? If that is not done, then how come, on what basis is this overcharging coming in?
Do you think your reasons are strong enough to get the legal counsel to do something about this?
They are strong enough.
How
they are
strong
reasonable
are they?
enough. The facts are there. The facts are there, and they speak for itself. We obtained a video, an audio recording, for which Francis Ajari himself apologized for all those utterances he was making and all that. We can't go into these areas. Do you understand? That is why I'm saying that when the legal counsel sat, what were the evidence before them? What did they consider?
Okay.
Who testified? Let's know the details of what transpired.
Okay.
Do you get it? And my point still remains that if there was no payment before complaint was filed, how come there was overcharging? You asked me to do a work for you. It's like even the General Legal Counsel is not respecting the contracts or per their whatsoever.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So if they are not respecting
matters
the contract,
of contract,
yes,
you can get performance to be done in a separate action. But when it comes to the code of conduct, it's clear. And the ethics, ethics says that you should charge 10%. And the lawyer himself admitted that he was guilty on that line. I'm sure that you should take an appeal rather than accusing the General Legal Counsel of doing the wrong thing.
As the legal people or Lawyer Sosu, as you are aware, Lawyer Sosu himself has gone ahead to appeal.
Exactly.
Do you get it?
Probably you should toe that line.
He should take his course. We are saying that there is injustice in this particular case. Do you get it? We'll go to the other issues. There is injustice. What I'm trying to say here, or we as a body, we are trying to say that even the complaint filed by the complainant did not state that my lawyer has overcharged me.
But listening to the man who has said that,
or the fees that my lawyer said I should pay is too much for me. He did not say, even in the audio I heard, he said I'm even ready to give you 50% of the money.
But
so
of course he might not know the rules and regulations for the
so
profession.
He doesn't know that if you have the money, you are giving 50% of that money.
Don't also forget that when you enter into a
25%.
contract with somebody who does not have knowledge of what he is doing, that contract is void.
Was Francis Ajari forced under gunpoint to sign that contract?
You don't need to force somebody under gunpoint to get the contract to be voidable.
The information available to us, he was not there alone to sign this contract. There were witnesses.
Okay.
His son was there, and his in-law was there.
Okay.
So all these three people.
Do the in-laws know the what goes into the legal profession? Do they know what exactly it entails? The code of ethics of the legal profession. Do they know about it?
No. If they do not know, What if they do not know? How come now they know that they have to file a complaint against him?
Of course.
That he has overcharged.
That's why I'm saying that.
So it means that someone has now noticed that, okay, with the amount of money Lawyer Sosu is charging is too much for you. Go to legal counsel and report Lawyer Sosu. Is that the case?
In case the general legal counsel does not grant your wish, what will be your next line of action?
We will go all length to make sure that the international community hears this. The former heads of state, we need to put pressure on the authorities that be to make sure that the General Legal Counsel reverse their decision even before the appeal, whatsoever is called. They should do the honorable thing, revisit their books and quash that decision. That would be the right thing for them to do. Because to be honest with you, Lawyer Sosu, Francis ban is just 1 year. The touting and advertising thing, we are going there. That one is 3 years.
Okay.
Do you get it? So when we get there, you understand why we are saying that Lawyer Sosu have been discriminated upon. And the decision taken by the General Legal Counsel is illegal.
Yes, the advertising bit is a different conversation altogether. But when you put one-on-one on the Francis Ejari guy and what Francis Sosu, the lawyer, then I feel that probably an appeal line will do better. But of course, you want to plead to the legal counsel to revisit their books and do the right thing.
Yes.
Wish you luck in your, and therefore many thanks for passing through on the pulse. Kosi Senyo is the convener of the United for National Interest. It's a pressure group, and they say that they are unhappy with the ban of the human rights lawyer Francis Sosu's ban, and they're saying that the General Legal Counsel should revisit their books and do the honorable thing. And they also want to get a copy of the judgment, see what went into that judgment, which people tendered in evidence, and then they can respond to some questions they themselves are asking. On the phone is Na Chuchu Soyu, the first, who's the host of the London show. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we have sports, and we'll do more on sports.